Another month, another payout video. March has been quite the ride. Up, down, and all around. But my income keeps steadily growing. Did I beat last year's numbers? Let's find out. And if you're curious about my investments, check out my playlist in the top right. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Swedish dividend investor. Before we go through what my investment paid me, I want to know how your month has been. Did your income grow? Let me know in the comments. If you're new here, make sure to obliterate the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss any updates. Alright, let's jump right into it. My first week I received 3 payments. Starting off with Cibus Nordic Real Estate. My 130 shares paid me 115.88 Swedish crowns and no tax on this. Converted to US dollars, it's about $11.57. As you can see in the video, my share count is just a tiny bit higher as the making of this video. I've been quite active in buying more Cibus during March. What about the next one? Good old reliable Pennant Park floating rate. My 120 shares paid me $0.1025, which amounts to $12.30. Subtracting the tax of $1.845 US, we land at $10.45. Thank you very much. I think I'm doing pretty okay with Pennant Park floating rate. They almost always trade sideways and just keep kicking out that sweet dividend. Let's move over to a very known company. Johnson & Johnson. I don't know if I need to introduce this one. It's a favorite for many dividend investors. My 12 shares paid me $1.24 each, making the payout to $14.88. And removing the tax of $2.23, we land at $12.65. I actually sold J&J in February. Yes, shock and horror, blasphemy. This was a typical case of buying too little and both the share price and the dollar just ran way up, giving me no chance to buy more at a cheap price. I started buying J&J at the beginning of 2021, and back then the dollar was 25% lower than today. I figured I could make my money work better for me somewhere else. So far making the total $34.67. Alright, let's head over to the second week of March. This week I got 7 payments, and the first one is Amgen. My 10 shares each paid me $2.38. Easy math here. That totals to $23.80. We remove the tax as always, $3.57, and we get $20.23. Like I said in my portfolio video, they risk getting the same treatment as J&J, as it is impossible for me to buy more at a fair price. However, the dividend is pretty decent, so if they don't lose their connection to reality, I'm just holding. My next payments is from the same day, with the first being JEPI. 36 shares times 0.083 equals $2.98 and no taxes. I still haven't bought more JEPI, but I might add some small amounts to this one. Moving on to its brother, JEPQ. With the Nasdaq 100 index being beaten down, we get a bit more in dividends here. 36 shares paying $0.1247 and we land at $4.49 and no taxes. I'm rounding some decimals here. Also a position where I might add some small amounts. Let's move on to the big brother of these two ETFs. JEPG. Ah yes, my favorite covered call ETF. My 150 shares each paid me $0.1498, netting me $22.47 and no taxes. I actually bought some more of this at the end of March. Like I said, it's a favorite of mine, since they don't have the Mag 7 as their top holdings. We get stuff like Berkshire Hathaway, Pepsi, Southern Company, etc. So the risk is somewhat reduced. Next up, a brand new position as of February. Montrose Global Monthly Dividend MSCI World ETF. My then 250 shares each paid me roughly 0.495 Swedish crowns, which comes out to 123.74 Swedish crowns. So we convert it to dollars and we get around $12.36. Their share price keeps dropping and I keep buying more. I'm pretty stoked to see what this ETF can offer me. They aim for a 6% dividend each month. My next payment came 2 days later. This day I got paid from Archer Daniels Midland. I have 77 shares and they each pay me $0.51. So 39.27 minus taxes of 5.89. We land at 33.38. I was going to buy more during last week, but I didn't get around to it and now they have started to rise again. Well, I'll get a chance to get some more soon, I hope. Moving over to my biggest position. Here I got paid from Xact Nordic high dividend, low volatility ETF. My 504 shares each paid me 1.87 Swedish crowns, so we land at 942.48 Swedish crowns. And in dollars, that is $94.15. Remember, I don't pay any taxes on my Swedish dividends since I have them in a tax advantage account. So that wraps up the second week. So far, bringing the monthly total to $224.73. The next week, I got 4 payments. Starting off with a darling in my portfolio, Realty Income. My 111 shares each paid me $0.268, so around 29.75. And when we remove the tax of around 4.46, we get $25.29. I really hope they go down under $52 so I can buy some more. I have no problem making this the biggest position in my portfolio. The next 2 payments arrived at the same day as Realty. First off is Global X S&P 500 covered call ETF. 129 shares paying around 0.105. With no taxes, we land at roughly $13.47. They have been performing better than the JPM ETFs, mostly because I've held them for longer and I've been collecting dividends, so my total return goes up. Next up is this ETF's brother, Global X Nasdaq 100 covered call ETF. 117 shares, each paying me $0.15, making the total $17.57 without any taxes. I might add some here as well. It has turned out to be a somewhat decent investment for me and I like the massive yield. I had to wait 3 days for my next payment, that being Manulife Financial. I have 130 shares and they each pay me 0.44 Canadian dollars, 57.20 Canadian dollars. Less the tax of 8.58, we land at 48.62 Canadian dollars. So let's convert it to US dollars, so we divide it by 0.7 and we get 33.94 US dollars. I really wish I could add to this position, but they just keep going up, bringing my monthly total to $315. The next week I only got 1 payment. Axfood. I love my food stocks and Axfood is a long time holding for me. I wish I was able to buy them cheaper though. I have 79 shares, each paying me 4.5 Swedish crowns, so 355.50 crowns total. And converted to dollars, I got $35.51 and again, no taxes. I'm going to add this one up with the last payment of the 5th week, that being interest on my savings account. 209 Swedish crowns and 30% tax comes out to 149.3 Swedish crowns. And in dollars we get 14.61, bringing the grand total for the month to $365.12. If we check out my spreadsheet, we can see the last year dividend was 3,211.04 Swedish crowns, so $320.8. That's an increase of 13.85%. I'll gladly take that. Next month and in May will be very interesting. Many of my Swedish companies only pay once per year, and that is often in April or May, so my biggest payments yet are coming closer. I hope you enjoyed the video. Are any of your favorites in my portfolio? Let me know in the comments. If you found value in this video, drop a like, subscribe for more dividend updates and share it with someone who loves passive income. Let's grow together. But that's it for this one. I'm the Swedish dividend investor and I will see you in the next one. Stay smart, stay patient and keep stacking those dividends. Ha det gött!